Okay, everybody, welcome to week 5 of 6. So that we're sliding into the last 2 weeks of our accountability group. Super proud of you guys for showing up and for putting yourselves in a position to be encouraged. All right, so there's some more people popping on. A couple of things I would love for you guys to pop in your wins and your learns in the chat while we're rolling here and people are sliding into home plate here. All right, so pop your wins. I'd love to hear. I know a couple weeks ago we kind of did a red dot session and different ones were in very different places in life and in their business, which is a-okay. But the reason why I created this accountability chat in these weekly calls was to like really help us, even in these like dreary, bleary winter months, to not lose sight of our goal, not lose the vision for what we're going after, right? And so my encouragement before I turn it over to Jessica is to treat this week like end of month, because the free resets end on the 15th, which is Saturday. And so why can't we treat middle of the month like end of month urgency, right? And so like stoke the fires in those customer conversations, be popping in your new customer combos to see if we can get a +1, things like that, right? So urgency, urgency, urgency is the name of the game, and it's a short month. So literally every day counts. We can't just kind of rest on our laurels here mid-month, and mid-month is when people get all discouraged, like your new people or your sharers, like most likely they're kind of want. Okay, so but we can be those encouragers to pop in. And I know Angie encouraged us last week about having a full calendar. Like she messaged me today. She's like, hey, how many more sessions for this call? She's like, I'm working on my calendar. And so I know she practices what she preaches. And so don't forget to fill up your calendar. And I challenged all of you to get an in-person event scheduled before Bahamas. So I did one for a level 1 when we were down in St. Augustine last week. So if I did it, you all can do it. I'm still continuing to do them. So don't forget networking, initiating.
Be frozen for y'all.
Conversations, hosting events. What'd you say?
Oh, you were freezing, but is she freezing for anybody else?
Yeah, she does that.
Oh, okay. Out in the country. Sorry.
So in attendance, did you hear me say that for the Monday and the Thursday calls? And then convention. I just had Chris send me over who's registered for convention, and there's lots and lots that are not registered yet. So let's like really, really double down on getting people to convention. So, okay. Well, Jessica, can you guys hear me okay enough for me to turn it over to her? Thanks for popping on and being our guest speaker. We are all ears. For those of you who are just popping on, put your wins and your learns in the chat. Pop out a win, pop out something that you learned about yourself or your business this week. Okay, Jessica, we're ready.
Okay. Y'all, well, the biggest leaders that I know are reflectors. And so you people who are in the comments, good job, because you're actually reflecting on what did I learn? What could I do differently? Like taking that moment to reevaluate is so important. I'm going to start with a practical tip, and then we're going to get into some inspiration, some coaching. Okay. Practical tip. I did this week. Okay. So, we have the new systems, the Monday night opportunity calls, the Thursday night product calls. Yesterday, wait, Thursdays, I just threw out there on Thursday in my chat for my reentry team. And I was like, anybody who listens to my podcast episode, it can be anything. But in that podcast episode, episode 119 is why I did this very strategically. It has them write down the 3 areas that they help people in their business. So it's a refocus for them to get real clear in their marketing and their own belief about how they help people through their business. It's actually called Your Business is Your Ministry. So what I had them do, I said, watch listen to this 15-minute podcast. Send me the 3 ways that you help people and invite somebody to tonight's event. And I'm drawing for a $50 winner. Okay. You don't have to do $50. You can do a $5 cup of coffee. I don't care. But I did that. This was what was so interesting to me. I did that on Thursday. 1 person entered the drawing. 1 person, $50, 1 person. I did it again last night for Monday's opportunity call, and I got like 10 people who did it. Okay. First of all, it blows my mind that nobody would not do something simple to win $50. But the point of this is sometimes you try things as a leader and you're like, oh, my team sucks. My team's not doing anything. And you're going to need to repeat. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again. I don't want to do it every single time, but this is an idea that you can do to get people to utilize the tools that are there, the Monday night and the Thursday night event. What I'm going to do next time when I do it for Thursday is I'm going to put it in my group thread, but then I'm also going to take the time to individually text my leaders and be like, hey, I want you to win that $50. Who are you inviting tonight? I'm going to spend some extra time, have those one-on-one conversations. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have even more than 10 entries this next time. Okay. And so just a little tip, little practical thing that you can do. Do not rely on Megan and Angie to do everything as a leader. Let me say that again. You are the leader of your team. You guys are all rubies and above. You have your own teams. And so yay for the things that they provide, yay for the things that I sometimes provide, but you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You ultimately are the leader of your team. So I just really wanted to rise you up in that lid, give you that little tangible tip. It's like so layered in why I did that exercise. One, it gets them listening to a podcast that actually helps them focus on the clarity of their business. Number two, it gets them to actually invite somebody to these tools that we have lined up for them. Okay, so it was multifaceted. I love to do some double time. Okay. Let's talk about, I was like, again, what should I was just like, she told me to come, and I was just feeling like today I was at my prayer group and I was kind of writing some notes. I'm like, what is Lord? I was praying for y'all. I'm like, what do we need to talk about tonight? What do you want me to encourage them in, urge them in? And urge, interestingly enough, urgency was a big topic that kept coming up. So I want to talk to you guys a little about urgency. First of all, what creates urgency? I can't get your old chat to open. Hi, Brandy. I hate that. So unmute. What in general, business life, anything? What creates urgency? Or let's rephrase that. Why are people not urgent? Let's throw out all the reasons. Let's get real. Why are people not urgent?
Well, a deadline creates urgency. So the opposite is like, I don't think I have a deadline. I can just do it tomorrow.
Good. Let's throw all these out. I don't think I have a deadline. Why are the people not urgent?
It's not important to them.
Yes. Deadline. It's not important. I even was like thinking about when I was writing down the scenario, I'm like, okay, so my kid's getting ready for school in the morning. They're not urgent. Why are they when they're not hurrying? Why is that? And some of the things I got was like, it's not important to them. Another one was just a simple one is they're like literally not paying attention to the time. Like they don't have a concept of time. So those are good. Anything else? I don't think I have a deadline. It's not important to me. I'm not paying attention to time.
I was thinking along the same lines as Laura of just thinking that you have time,
Say that again.
like thinking that you have time to do it. I
Oh,
was
that-
thinking along the same lines of like, it's fine. I can procrastinate because
Mhm.
I have time to do it.
Thinking you have more time maybe than you actually do. So yay. So and that could even be, or yeah, even thinking of like you've been on a road trip before, right? And you like want to get to this destination at a certain time, or maybe you're like not. And another thing could be like, well, I don't think I'm going to get there by 5. So what's the use? Let's just all take a potty break. Let's stop and sit down to eat. We're not going to get there anyway. So what's the use? Okay. Are you noticing all these?
Also thinking maybe nobody's looking for what I have.
Nobody's looking for what I have. Do you notice that all of these are thoughts? I don't think I have a deadline. That's not important. I'm not paying attention to time. I'm thinking I have more time than I actually do. Nobody wants what I actually have. All goes back to what? Thoughts. Okay. This fall, I went to a women's ministry conference at my church, and at the very end, this lady, this 94-year-old lady spoke. Okay. 94. Okay. I'm 42. If I live to be 94, I still have more than half of my life left. Okay, she was so full of wisdom. The first thing I gleaned from her was the fact that she's 94 up there speaking about Jesus, loving on people. I'm like, my life has just begun. Like, it has literally just begun. Like, we have this concept of like, I'm too late. It's almost over. I can't do anything significant. I'm late to the game. No, if you live to be 94, you literally have just begun. Like, let's have a different concept of time. But one of the biggest, I was looking over my notes, one of the biggest things that she taught me, what she said is, she said, when I figured out that I'm a decision maker, Satan couldn't rob me. We're going to talk about being a decision maker. Okay, I want you to decide to go for it. Make a powerful decision. So this is a Ruby group, right? So let's take the scenario of Emerald by July 31st. Okay. Let's make a powerful decision today that you are going for Emerald. I like to say by June because that was like a little cushion. Okay, but powerfully decide. Okay, and here's the difference between people who powerfully decide and people who don't. People who powerfully decide have already decided. They're a decision maker. They have decided ahead of time. They have decided, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. And so all of the other things are the questions of, should I do this? Should I not? I mean, should I reach out to people about this opportunity call? No. You already decided. And so that's what you do when you're deciding. Like, go back to our identity. So many people aren't doing the things because they have not decided that they are a decision maker who commits. Okay, I don't know about your past. I don't know about your failings from your past, but I know that God is doing a new thing, and I know that when we look to the future and stop looking to our past as evidence of what's possible for our future, we've got to stop looking to our past as evidence of what is possible for our future. Okay, so I don't know what your identity used to be. I don't even know what it was an hour ago, but you get to decide what your identity is. Okay, God speaks into your identity and Satan tries to steal it. Okay, so let's say God or Satan, who wants you to not commit to anything? Who wants you to not make decisions so your life and your business does not move forward? The Lord does. And okay, here's another thing. Think about how to say this. Oh, let me ask you this question. Do you know what is the biggest time waster there is? What is the biggest time waster? It is indecision. Wendy, ding, 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 ding. She's listened to my podcast or heard that message before. Indecision literally wastes so much time. It comes with unclarity. Should I do this? Should I not? I don't want to feel this. Let me feel this. It just creates so much drama and wastes so much of your time. So being a person of purpose who lives on purpose, you making powerful decisions to move your life and business forward will transform everything. Okay? Talk about. I'm going to invite you because I can't make you guys do anything. I can't make you do anything. Megan can't make you do anything. Everything, isn't that such an interesting concept that it all is truly in our own hands? It's truly up to us. What would it feel like to have a goal and miss it? There's like honest, vulnerable moment. What would it feel like to have a goal? Put it in the comments or unmute yourself. I can't see the stinking chat. I can just see it one at a time. It would feel disappointing. What else? Put it in the comments. say you have a goal to go Emerald by July 31st and you don't hit it. You go for it and you don't hit it. How is it going to feel? Going to feel like failure. It's going to feel like frustrating. It's going to feel
I can't type because I'm driving, but mine would be failure.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. Failure. Okay, all of you, whatever word was yours, or you can take one from the comments. What does that feeling feel like? I know, so fun, right? But I want you to like literally, what does that feeling feel like? Where exactly even is it in your body? I want you to take a moment. Okay, someone said my stomach hurts. You may feel a feeling of failure in your stomach. You may feel a heaviness in your chest. For you, it may be like your throat closing up. Like literally be in it for a moment. You may feel pressure or even tears behind your eyes. Like, where is that feeling for you? Okay. I want you to really notice it. Does it have a color? Does it have a size? Does it have a temperature? Where specifically is that feeling in your body? Notice that. Okay. Here's what we're going to do as a collective here. You all are aware of that feeling. You're all aware of where it is in your body. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 3 big, I call them Holy Spirit breaths, breathing in the breath of God directly to where that feeling is. Okay. I just want him to surround that. I want him to engulf that. It's a sensory experience. I really want to invite you to do this. Okay. Ready, set, go. 3 big, deep breaths directly into where you feel that feeling of failure or whatever it was for you. I just want you to notice. How does that feeling feel now? Probably has dissipated to some degree, probably is less threatening to you and your nervous system, probably has lifted. I am honored that I just got to teach you how to experience a negative, uncomfortable emotion and still move forward. Because I want you to be willing to feel willing to possibly, it is a possibility. I want you to be willing to feel the possibility of not missing a goal, but I do not want you to be willing to not try. I do not want you to be willing to not try and not go for it just for a little fear that it might not happen. Okay. This is what the majority of the world does. In the back of their mind, there is some sort of fear or possibility or uncertainty, or I could possibly experience, if I do this and it doesn't go as I had planned, I could feel disappointment, or I could feel failure, I could feel whatever. So they instead just subconsciously don't do the thing. Or they're like putting the accelerator and the foot on the gas. They're like, I'm going to invite 2 people instead of 20 people to tomorrow night's call because I don't want to feel the feeling of failure. So if I can say, I didn't really try to go for it, then I won't feel bad if I don't hit it. Okay. Leaders are willing to feel uncomfortable emotions. Okay. So be willing to possibly miss a goal, but do not be willing to not try. Okay, what's coming up for you guys? Thoughts, questions? Anybody have some epiphanies? Anybody want some coaching? Anybody want to ask me a question? Anybody want to share what even came up for you in doing that little exercise? Oh, Amber, I can't see your comment. All I can see is halfway of it. Do you want to come on? Doing it halfway so do you mind unmuting and telling us your epiphany? All I can say is doing it halfway.
When you said, am I doing it halfway so that when I don't hit it, I can say, I didn't really try. So it's not, doesn't hurt or sting as badly, that hit.
Mm. I think that hits for a lot of us. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that great awareness that you're onto yourself now? Here's the biggest thing that we can, it's not that we have split personality. It's like we all can, a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life is to notice a thought that you're having without coming in agreement with it as your identity. Okay. So the difference would be like, oh, I'm someone who doesn't try. I'm someone who doesn't go for it. I'm someone who's fearful and scared of disappointment, or that's the identity. Okay. Or you can be like, interesting. I'm noticing that I'm feeling some fear of going all in. I'm noticing I'm like literally like the thought is over here, like this little bubble, like kind of like take it outside of you, separate yourself from it so you can start noticing. Interesting. I notice that I've been backing down and I have not had urgency. I'm not an urgent person. I'm not being very urgent. I wonder why. You see the difference? There is a complete difference when you take something on as your identity or when you're noticing your thoughts around something. Anybody else? Or if you want to talk or expand more, Amber, you're welcome to.
I'll just be brave since you're here.
Yay, that's what I'm here for.
I just a feeling, right? It's
Mhm.
exhausting to keep going for the same rank. And I know it's not my identity, it's not any of that. Like, I totally get that. But it's exhausting because I have gotten close. I'm not really yet. I have gotten close to it. And then my gold stopped working or whatever it is. So I feel like I'm rebuilding my team. And I know other people do that. So like I'm not trying to like keep that me from doing that, but it's just exhausting. It's exhausting to like I think I recruited 53 people not this last year, but the year before last. And I didn't move. And then last year I recruited 30. Well, I'm at the same points. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a team moving now, thankfully, but it's just I guess my thought is it's exhausting to keep doing this. So I'm like hesitant to go like all in again because I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want to be exhausted. So those are my thoughts of.
Oh, okay. So good. First of all, thank you for coming on and saying that and being vulnerable and honest. Healing can come when you tell the truth. Okay. This is where the biggest growth comes when you tell the truth. Okay. When we're like, everything's fine. No, I'm not scared. I'm urgent. I'm good. Like when you're over there pretend like poser mode stays poser mode. When you come out of hiding and just tell the truth, that's when, I mean, there's no darkness in the light. Okay. I literally wrote down a quote of yours. Okay. So you just notice this is something that you said. It's exhausting to keep going for the same rank. Okay. So I want you to notice how that plays out, how you're speaking exhaustion of yourself. Exhausting to go to the same rank. Here, exhausted, like, oh, this is so tiring to go to the same rank. This keeps happening to me. People keep quitting. Just notice that. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. It probably would be exhausting to keep going for the same rank. So let me ask you this question. If you weren't going for just the rank of Ruby, and I'm not putting a timeline on this, but if you were going for the rank of Diamond, how would you work differently today if your goal was Diamond and not Ruby?
I feel like, um, so I don't know how to answer that question correctly because I feel like I would work this same. I think I just having a team would like having workers and I see movement that would change, be a little bit of momentum more than I don't know. I feel like I've also like I was aware of what I was doing. I was letting myself off the hook because I was doing homeschool first and then I was working out and then I was letting myself off the hook in the afternoon, not working. And I was like, oh, I need to do chores. Oh, I need to get dinner ready. And so I switched that where I have to do my work first and I do homeschool in the afternoon. So I wouldn't let myself off the hook with homeschooling, right? So I have to do that. But it wasn't a have to work. Because I was like, I'm just gonna stay at the same points anyway. So I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
whether I show up every day or not, I'm gonna stay at the same point. So I was
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything to help myself go further, I guess. So I am excited about that cruise though. So the Emerald cruise motivates me.
Okay. Going from it's exhausting to keep. Okay, let me go back to my question. Because
Sorry.
no. There's no right or wrong way to answer this question. I want to challenge it in that if you think what you're doing today is exactly the same of what you're doing to get to Diamond, I would say no, it's not. And I wouldn't say it's do 10 times more work in order to get to Diamond either. What if it is a completely different way of how you spend your time working your business?
Mm.
Okay, meaning, okay, so for example, you said you had a 53 last year or whatever. Where did those 53 come from? And
Myself.
okay, and how, no, I mean, like, how did you get them?
I just recruited them. I had, I think they just mostly came to me. It seemed so natural that year when I did the 53. It just seemed natural. Last year, I felt like I had to fight for it just for the 30.
They came to you, why? Because you're doing nothing? Go back to
No.
baby steps. Like, they came to you, why?
I think my posting was better.
Okay, you posted.
Mhm.
I also want you to notice you basically did nothing and they came to you. And so if you keep doing nothing and posting, they're not. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to get you to Diamond. Like, doing basically nothing and them coming to you. And so that's why I want you to get you out of the mindset of what if it is a completely different thing? It would make perfect sense that you're getting exhausted doing the same thing and not getting a different result. Because what if you need to do something different? What if, how many people, let's be honest, because this is vulnerable hour and we're so proud of Amber for being our guinea pig right here. How many people did you invite to Monday night's business opportunity call?
None, because it was my birthday. But before that, I didn't do it either.
Okay, it's your birthday, but if it wasn't your birthday, honestly, how many people would you have invited to the business opportunity call?
I didn't. I only invited my leaders before.
Yay. Okay. Notice, this is good noticing. So someone who's going to Diamond, who needs leaders, who needs, in order to get to Diamond, people who want to make money, want to grow a business, want to earn cruises themselves. Like, how are they currently getting on your team?
Right. They're not.
So interesting.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Everybody do this. I want you to you're going to write three. Here's your categories. You're going to have 3 categories. I'm about to have you count something. Number of posts is the first category. Okay, the next category is Plexus. The next category is Plexus Business, and the next category is Personal. Sorry, you're going to have 4 categories. So number of posts, Plexus posts, Plexus Business posts, and Personal. And what I mean by just the Plexus post, that means a Plexus post that's just about the products or a testimony or something along those lines. Okay. What I want you to do right now is I want you to go to your Facebook page, not your stories. I want you to go to your Facebook page, and I want you all to do this. And this is community. This is accountability. You're going to come back and report your results in the comments. You're going to scroll back 2 weeks, and I want you to see what those stats are. So go do it right now. Like, go scroll, figure it out on your phone. Go back 2 weeks, and I want you to report how many posts total you've made in 2 weeks. How many of those are Plexus products or testimonies? How many of those are about the business income? And how many of those are non-Plexus posts completely? Okay, go do that. Report those stats. I want to give you guys it should only take you 2 minutes. Go do that and then put it in the comments. Very good. Someone put since January 28th is 2 weeks from today.
I'm gonna just call myself out, okay? Jessica, you are gonna, I know, okay? Okay, so I do not post on Facebook enough, like, period. Not personal, not biz, not Plexus, nothing. So I have been talking to some really scary people, and this just like punched me in the gut, like right now. So I'm gonna share it with you right now.
Yes, good.
Someone, I have been pursuing her for a very long time, and she is gonna start sharing, like, legit. I've been in conversation with her the past 2 days about it. But I noticed she had been liking posts on my page from a year ago, because that girl had to search for posts from me about this business, because I am a leader who posts nothing about the business. Because here's my thought. My thought is like, I don't need to post about that stuff because I'm in a lot of conversation, and I'm like, they're getting it one-on-one from me. But really, they want to see the proof on my page. And so this Eliza girl, I noticed, like, she liked 5 posts of mine in the past 2 days. They were all from a year ago, Jessica. They were not recent. So shame on me. I'm calling myself out. I do not post enough. And a year ago, I was recruiting like a boss, and now I'm not. Just gonna throw that out there. So don't you dare look at my numbers and come at me. I already know. I'm kidding. You can come at me.
Well, first of all, Brandy and Amber, like, I just really want to commend you when you felt that ounce of, oh, I should unmute, but I'm nervous to, and you took the action to do that. And so I just want to validate that in you, say, I am so proud of you. That is such a skill of a leader, to notice when they are scared and still choose to move it forward anyways. I'm just like so proud and so in awe and so honored of you guys for doing that. Okay, so Brandy, I mean, that is the epitome of taking self-awareness and running with it. The beauty of this, okay, this is why Thursday's episode on the podcast is actually about this. And I believe that this increases when we are in union with the Lord. That's my belief, when we are letting him speak to our identity. Okay, here's what happens. when we make a mistake, it can either lead us to shame or it can lead us to correction. And I believe the mark of an emotionally mature person or someone who's been getting their identity from the Lord is they can make a mistake and they can see that it's his loving kindness that leads to repentance. Like they can notice that as correction instead of sitting in shame. Like a very tangible story that I tell on the podcast is like a couple weeks ago, I just forgot a Zoom. I was just in my exercise room, just bouncing on my rebounder, doing my red light therapy, look at my phone. And she's like, hey, our Zoom, like I'm 20 minutes late to this important like medical Zoom. And in that moment, I was like, huh, well, I made a mistake. Like before I would have been like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed and overly apologized 500 times and like just like felt so much shame and been so dysregulated. But in that moment, I was like, I'm a human who makes mistakes. And I came on and I said, I'm sorry. I honestly just completely forgot. And then later on in the conversation, we talked about how I actually had been feeling the nudge that I needed to have a morning routine, a very intentional morning routine, because if that would have happened, if I had been intentionally actually getting my planner out, actually spending time with the Lord in the morning, like that wouldn't have happened. And so I was like, it actually was a gift to me that I was late to that Zoom because it revealed the need for correction, the need where an area of my life where I needed to step up and there needed to be improvement to live the life and create the life and be the person who I want to be. And so that is all any mistake is. Okay. It is an opportunity to correct. And so just want to invite you into that, like the opportunity, like what a gift we're on this call today. And you had some realizations about how much you're posting or how much you're not posting, or what a gift that you've had some revelations about decision-making or urgency. Like the past is the past. Like you cannot change how you've been working your business up until this moment. Okay, so the past is the past, but I'm excited about the future and I'm excited about you guys. And I want to hear anybody else unmute and tell me about their experience just from going and looking at their posts. I can't see them in the comments. I can only see Gretchen was the last one.
Okay, so I have been light on posting too, but my husband copies me on everything and he is posting all day long. So he he knows that I've had a busy schedule and he is tagging me in a lot of Plexus posts with intentionality. So I don't know if that works in the exact same way from an algorithm standpoint, but I mean, it's better than nothing, which is what I was, yeah, which is
Can
what I
I?
was doing in some areas.
Yes. Like, may I challenge you in something?
Please.
Okay. I definitely understand busy seasons. I also understand you live into the story you tell yourself. And so just notice that every time you continue to say, I have a busy schedule. I have a busy, that actually means nothing. What if that means nothing? What if you're making it mean I have a busy schedule, so I don't have time to post? Or I have a busy schedule, so it's really important for me to prioritize things. Or it can mean whatever you want it to mean. Okay, but your identity is I'm going for Emerald by June. Does that change if you believe that you're willing to go for it, you're willing to fail if possible, but you're not willing to not try? Would that change the number of times you post in your busy life?
Yeah, it should. Yeah. And sometimes, and so if like, okay, I've got this hour and I don't get around to posting because I'm doing other business activities, and so I do recognize that when I do intentional time, sometimes I'm intentionally doing business things or responding and that sort of thing, but then I don't get around to posting. I'm like, shoot, I totally dropped the ball on that. But I should plan ahead because historically I just hate social media anyway. So it's really hard for me to come up with content. I don't do a single thing that's original. It's 100% copying it from someone else.
I don't like social media. What you just said about
Yeah.
3 things that were very interesting that were your
Yeah.
thoughts. What were they? I don't do social media. I can't think of anything original. Okay, are you done speaking those word curses over yourself?
Well, I'm just those are just so I mean I have to intentionally look for something because I don't come up with original content is what I'm saying.
So you have it in
Very
the
well.
past.
Right.
But is it possible for you to someday?
I that would be the plan.
Is it the plan? No?
Yes.
Or have you settled into, I will never think of anything original. My life is too busy. Notice.
No, because I mean the time freedom is what I absolutely need, right? I have that day job that's saddling me. But
I really
so
think you're onto something with yourself here too, is this is a word for all of us, is to prioritize what it means to work your business. So
Mhm.
you said I had an hour to work my business, but I was doing other business stuff. Well, what is the most important thing in order for you to go emerald by June? What would be the most, like, let's just as a simply like prioritize what's the most important things. And so as Brandy said, why posting, you're right, because why posting is so important. Even if you are having all of the one-on-one conversations there are, that new person thinks that they're not going to have to post because you're not posting. That new person thinks that you don't believe in what you're actually trying to sell her on because you're not confident about it. You're not talking about it. You're not being brave about it. And so they're in their mind thinking, well, I could be as successful as her and just sit back and secretly, quietly have private conversations and never have to feel embarrassed or never have to feel rejection or never have to do a live video where it might mess up. So just so interesting, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and that's true. If we have primarily product takers and not very many business builders, and so, very few people are sharing. And I mean, that's what it's going to take from, now to Emerald by June, July. So trying to stir the pot to get people to share even the +1 free reset, sense of urgency, the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's where we've been concentrating. Yeah.
Yep. Just, I don't know, 4 days ago, I just had this epiphany that I was just scrolling in bed at night again. And I thought, Jessica, what if you do 1 reel a day instead of scrolling so much at night? And I just decided, let me show you the power of making powerful, of just deciding. I just decided there's some elusive goal. I mean, I was like, for the next month, I'm going to put out a reel every day. Okay, well, that did so much because first of all, it stops me from scrolling. Like I have to have my reel ready before I go to bed for the next day. So that's like actually making me create something instead of consume something. And then the next thing is like, yeah, some of them are just like random and out there and they're not Instagram strategy yet. But I'm getting it out there. It's like I'm refining as I go. I'm like I'll figure it out as I go, but I'm in action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever that looks like for you, I'm not telling you all have to go figure out reels and do every day, but decide on something and do some massive action around it. Like make a powerful decision that you're going to do that every day. Like you are a person of purpose who lives on purpose. Okay, so your new identity, if you choose to take it on, is that you can literally say, I am a decision maker who commits. I am a decision maker who commits. You can decide anything you want and you can commit. What I've been doing for the last couple of weeks is there's like 500 things I wanted to do to improve my health. And I was feeling very overwhelmed by it. And I was like, my non-negotiable each day is walking for 30 minutes. And I decided that that's my non-negotiable. And so there's no decision making in it. It's not like, oh, should I do that today? I'm feeling tired or should I not? No, I already decided. Like I had already decided that's what I'm doing daily. There's no decisions to be had. That is my decision. And so where in your business, Megan has actually made this so simple for you. You know what your daily activity is? The winning day. That's literally the requirements to be in this group, is to do the winning day every day and turn it in. Like, powerfully decide today that you're committing to the winning day. And you're a person in momentum, and so you can even double and triple up winning days. But at the very least, you're doing the winning day every day with urgency. So good. What else? Any thoughts? Any ahas, amens? Megan, Angie, anybody?
I liked what we were talking about in light of urgency, how it comes from belief. And you actually texted me back yesterday or the day before when we were talking about it, and you said urgency is natural when there is belief. Urgency is avoiding. Oh, urgency is avoiding when we're stuck in disbelief. And I really agree, because if we don't have vision for where we're going, vision and belief to me are the same thing, but like the vision dictates the action. And so if we don't have a plan of where we're going, there's no urgency. Like, I know we were just, I don't know, I like talking about it because I feel like it brings awareness. There's like a light, like the flashlight gets shined on, like why are we not urgent? Why are we not more urgent or acting? And I feel this myself. And well, Brandy and I were talking at Super Saturday about comfort. We have to confront the comfort, because we, in this business, like, we get to a cozy spot, we get to gold, or we get to senior gold, or we get a couple of business builders and we get to ruby. And it's like, we have that big emerald goal, but like that fire, the fire has to keep burning, you know?
So yes, and healthy things grow and growing things change. And so just like how Amber was sharing, like, something worked for her business for a while, but then things have changed. And so she's got to people, but the beauty of it is, Amber, people will still come to you when you rise your belief lid, they're still going to come to you. But but you are going to go after them, and they're going to come to you. So then it's like double time coming in. Okay. But because when you increase that belief, like, it's not like, oh, it's never going to happen again. But there, you got to change some things, because everybody who just came to you weren't necessarily business builders, because they probably, I don't know what your audit was on your post, but they probably were seeing your health posts, and that's all they were interested in Plexus about. And so as you rise up your identity as, I know I'm a diamond, actually, like, yay for Ruby, but I'm actually a diamond in the training. Okay. And so diamonds don't just sit there and wait for people to come to them. Like, you go and search for them, you go and find them. And in that search and in that find, you're going to get some, but some more are still going to come to you. But you've got to change some things. Healthy things grow and growing things change. That's why I asked you, would you do the same activities if your goal was Ruby or if it was Diamond? Because I wanted you to completely shatter how you're thinking about working your business right now. Because we get so hyper focused on like this next rank, it's like becomes, and I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about this, how most people do. They're like obsessed. They're like, no, this is my next rank. I've got to get this one. If I don't get this one, my life is ruined, or it's exhausting to get this rank. And they just keep spinning their wheels on something that isn't working. And I'm like, if your vision is bigger, it will demand a different way to work. And so, yay for busting through that ceiling, because it's going to demand some change, which is exciting because your vision is bigger than Ruby. I mean, so urgency. So if this, you can start to notice, and you can get coaching from Megan, Carissa, whoever, when you notice this is so healthy. When you don't have urgency, there's a reason. And it usually always goes back to a belief or a fear, or unwilling to feel something such as disappointment or failure again. Okay. But you are capable of feeling a disappointing feeling, but you are not capable of not trying. You are not capable of not going for it. Amen?
So good. I was curious what you guys' epiphanies are about your posts, the post audits. Laura, 47 posts. That's a lot of content. Wow. And then someone else, oh, Gretchen has a lot, 32 total.
And even in the 47 posts, I can't see your stats. How many of them are not Plexus posts? Because that was also a category that's really important to still be learning that rhythm, still being engaging, asking questions, still adding value as a person outside of Plexus as well. So some of you guys maybe hardly be doing that, need to up that. Some of you guys maybe only be doing that, need to up the Plexus business post. Yeah. Gretchen.
It's interesting putting it down again because after the last time we did this, changed my posting, and I feel like I'm posting so much Plexus, but looking at the numbers, like, yeah, I could still do more. And I feel like I'm posting about the business a lot. I could still do more.
I just taught you guys something as leaders, since y'all are leaders of your own teams. Like I could sit here all day and say, post more business posts, post more business posts. But what was more powerful, me saying, post more business posts, or you going and looking for yourself and getting the data and making your own conclusions from the information? Good leaders ask good questions.
I do want to compliment Gretchen too. I have very much noticed all of your posts and you're doing amazing. So there's that. And I love your lives because you do all the homeschooling stuff so well. So like that's adding the value, and then your Plexus poster, of course, much better.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing about Gretchen also. So way to go. Same. Well, the other thing to remember is like we think we're posting so much about the products or so much about the business, but like if you think about like 10% of your Facebook friends seeing those particular things, like it's a very small percentage, of people actually seeing it.
Ain't none of your haters, ain't none of your prospects going to your Facebook page and counting and doing an audit. They ain't counting. Okay. So when you're like, I'm posting so much, I promise you, Karen is not over there with the tally marks counting how many posts you're making. She's just not. Okay. And if she is, that is so not your problem. So anyways, I gotta wrap it up, but I just wanted to really bless you with being decision makers, bless you with being commitment to committing to things. I want to bless you with the ability to feel those big feelings. I want to bless you with urgency in your life and in your business. And I want to bless you with thinking and acting and working your business differently than you have in your past. And one more thing, I want to bless you with the simplicity of consistency. And so as you turn in your winning day sheets, like that is the blessing of consistency. That is covering your bases. And the word of the night is urgent. Urgency. I want you to come to Alaska with us. I want you there. Like, I like you guys, okay? And that ain't gonna come from him hoeing. It ain't gonna come by not doing your winning day sheets. It's gonna come from some urgency. It's gonna come from your willingness to not try, okay? You are a decision maker who commits. I'm saying it again because I want you to write it down. You are a decision maker who commits with urgency. I'm adding that in. You are a decision maker who commits with urgency. That's who you are. That's who you are. And you're going to change lives because you're going to take on that identity. You're going to live out of that persona. You are a decision maker who commits with urgency.